There has been a widespread belief that bras are anatomically necessary to support the breast and essential to a functional lifestyle. For example, nowadays we have push-ups, compression bras, demis, lace bras, sports bras, strapless, of all prints, colors, textures, materials, sizes, and even prices. Bras carry multiple meanings. They can be sexual, functional, even athletic. Sometimes they are empowering to the women who wear them, and other times they are oppressive. For example, a little known fact is that some of the first bras, which were corsets, caused the subsequent death of the women they constricted. In today's world, bras and the breasts that fill them are oftentimes sexualized and for the viewing pleasure of men. This documentary explores how this fashionably and socially demanded technology came to be what it is today and all the meanings it carried throughout history regarding gender, race, and class of the women it constructed.
From the 1500s to the 1600s, women of royalty in Spain began to wear bras made of materials of wire steel and well-boned. During the 1700s, Iron Maidens began to take shape of corsets. These Iron Maidens had a warrior shield-like appearance. In the 1850s, the camisole was invented as an undertunic. Several years later, in 1889, Hermione Cadolle invented a well-being bra. This bra was marketed with health in mind, however, it squeezed the breast up uncomfortably. In 1893, Mary Tusick patented a breast supporter bra. This breast supporter provided pockets for breasts, straps that went over the shoulder, and a hook and eye back closure. In 1907, the term brassiere was coined for bras in general. This term was adopted in America after appearing in a New York advertising copy of the Debevoise Company.
In the 19th and 20th century, gender was highly regulated. For example, it was against the law for women to wear trousers. During the 1900s, corsets threw the bust forward and pushed the buttocks back. This was a way to manipulate the body as the natural body. This recreation of the natural body is anti-ecofeminism because it tries to label what is natural, even though it really isn't natural. Early on through history, bras held meanings of modesty, hiding, and being civilized. For example, some early Catholic ideals were to hide the breast and were marketed to contain the strong, sustain the weak, and bring back those who have strayed. However, by the end of the Middle Ages, revealing cleavage was fashionable. During the Renaissance, the body was glorified and constructed as erotic. Clothes were stiff and therefore creating cleavage.
In the early 1900s, the corset took form of a hobble skirt, which had an extremely narrow hemline around the ankles and inhibited walking. The corset was meant to smooth broken lines, implying that women are broken and need to be fixed. The history of bras is also embedded in race, as seen with American columnist Gertrude Nickerson, who believed that American women were too racially mixed and therefore handicapped. Corsets were expected to clearly define and construct their bodies through the use of undergarments, while women of other races were predisposed to develop wildly. Terms such as figure faults and problem figure were thrown around in reference to Native American women who were known for the shapely body lines that nature gave them in their youth. In 1914, the backless brassiere was created. Emerging in wartime, women stopped buying corsets in order to redistribute the metal for weapons. Through this imagery, bras began to resemble missiles and torpedoes in the 1950s. This construction carried meanings and values of violence and constructed women's bodies as a battleground for new inventions and ideas. Soon after, followed Bali's Wonder Bra and the foundation of Maidenform by Ida Rosenthal in the late 20s. With this new business came the use of cup sizes, which constructed women to fit a specific letter and number, making it easier to universalize women and mass-produce the bras.
In 1943, engineer Howard Hughes designed a bra for actress Jane Russell. This bra, which was made of steel underwires, is now known as the underwire bra. The underwire bra is the most similar design we have for bras on the market today. In 1949, a dream campaign was started by Maidenform. This campaign connected bras with women's cutting-edge dream roles, such as shopping, traveling, working, and being athletic. In 1963, the Wonder Bra Push-Up Plunge Bra was designed. This bra pushed and formed women's breasts into a shape that put focus on a woman's cleavage. The construction and marketing of the Wonder Bra implied A, that women's breasts were abnormal in their natural shape, and thus this bra provided a miracle enhancement, and B, that breasts are meant to be seen and sexualized. As the women's movement of 1975 emerged, the sports bra was introduced as a source of empowerment for women.
So it was a a soccer game. It was a World Cup, and this girl, Brandi Chastain, scored the winning goal. She took off her shirt. She was wearing a sports bra, and it was like it turned into this big controversy because on the men's side it's normal for them to take off their shirts. So it was like a big deal in the media.
By 2008, just about every type of bra was being developed and marketed. Bras could now custom to plus-size women or women who wanted more freedom in their wardrobes. Finally, it seemed as if bras were becoming more inclusive. However, companies like Victoria's Secret, which society has come to recognize as the ideal place to buy bras, market mainly to a specific group of middle-class women with slightly conservative standards. Victoria's Secret presents its franchise as classy, in contrast to the reputation lingerie has for being sleazy and over-sexualized. Bras can run from upwards of $20 in the youth section, also known as pink, and their more embellished bras targeted towards women begin at $35 and cost up to almost $100. The company spends millions of dollars annually to market their bras using a catalog, models, magazine ads, their storefront, campaigns such as Love Your Body, and the highly anticipated end-of-the-year fashion show, which showcases their models in extravagant costume-like bras. They are seen as seductive, playful, and sexual, and aim to promote ideals of glamour, power, and beauty. Currently, we live in a culture that bombards us with sexual imagery. Girls have always been sold a certain look, verifying that females are interchangeable sex objects. There's a difference between exploring one's sexuality and being sexually exploited. There comes a point when women are not enjoying their bodies anymore, but using them for others to enjoy. The standard, or the expectation for women, is to use sex to please others. Women want to feel empowered. In the current dancing and clubbing culture, women take the opportunity to play stripper for a night, seeing it as a chance to be sexual without necessarily getting physical. In a similar sense, bras enable women to be sexual without necessarily getting physical, to be seen but not touched. Take Victoria's Secret models, for example, which are referred to as angels, but sell their sexuality at the same time. For example, baby doll frills are a trend in bra fashion, adhering to the prevalent fascination our culture has with amateur sex and sex with virgins, both which are topics that sell out in the porn industry.
A term called age compression defines the way that society pushes ideas of sexuality onto younger and younger age groups. For example, in 2008, thongs at the clothing store Abercrombie were designed so small that they could fit the bodies of 7-year-olds. More and more in dance competitions, it is becoming acceptable and even encouraged for 16 and 17-year-old girls to use lingerie as costumes in order to spark audience attention and seek the judges' approval.
I definitely agree with the concept of age compression. I remember actually being at Abercrombie when I was in middle school with my mom. We were shopping together, and there are these thongs, and I've never seen underwear like that, and I was like, oh, cool, the butt cheeks are cut out, and I don't know why, at the young age of middle school, I already thought, okay, that's good for jeans, that looks better, and I was trying to get my mom to buy it for me, and she was like, that's disgusting, and, she was yelling at me. She was like, well, what do you need stuff like that for? So I definitely remember that, and I also remember the dance competitions. So I competed for my dance team in high school, and I remember we would go to these competitions in Anaheim, and we would just be blown away by what the other teams were wearing, because we would wear maybe tank tops and, at the worst, booty shorts, and then with these other girls, they would literally wear just a bra and maybe a frilly skirt, and it looked like something out of a Las Vegas show, and I remember feeling a little uncomfortable with it, and I wasn't sure if that's what we were supposed to look like. But I knew that it was because sex is being pushed at such a young age more and more nowadays.
At first glance and analysis, bras are a technology that sexualizes women. Looking deeper into the way this technology is marketed and co-constructed alongside its user, we can see that bras affect the way women feel about themselves and the way others are looking at women. The construction and consumption of this technology places women within different power relationships depending on their contextual location. For example, whether a woman wants to be sexy but not sexual, wants full coverage and practicality, or even wants to dress up for her significant other in the bedroom, the relationship a woman has with her bra is personal. Although there are other users and non-users who cannot afford more than basic functioning bras or have body types that do not adhere to specific sizing charts, bras are a way to socialize women into types and categories depending on the occasion. A woman is made to believe that she possesses a power and control simply by supporting her breasts with a bra. She is told she has a specific size and shape, and from there she can customize her personality with bras of all constructions. After she chooses and puts on her bra, marketers attack the vulnerability of a woman's insecurities about her body. The bra will make her powerful, confident, in control, and her figure flawless. If you think about it, bras physically contain and manipulate a woman's body to society's ideal standards of beauty. Analyzing this deeper, we can see this containment as a way to also socialize women into representing and composing themselves in a way that furthers normative gender roles and expectations. By giving women a sense of false power in the form of a bra, how much power do women actually have?